Hi, my name is Mike Rickman, and maybe you've seen me on my YouTube channel, Christian Truths That Transform. But I'm here to provide a very short video uh, and to tell you what the Lord is doing in my life. I am a tent maker missionary, and I have been to Thailand twice before as a missionary. And excuse me, I came back to the States in 2015 so that I could finish my doctorate in education. And one of the reasons why I did that is I needed to know the best ways that people learn. And so I wanted that knowledge, and I also wanted to do some writing. I'm in the process of writing a book. I'll hopefully have it sent to the publishers here in 4 to 6 weeks. But what I'm doing, because I'm a tent maker missionary, I'm an independent Christian missionary. I have no denominational affiliation. Therefore, I am what might be called a non denominational, but even non denominational is a denomination within itself. And so um, I'm kind of a John the Baptist crying in the wilderness. And I want to make it very clear I am nowhere of the caliber of John the Baptist, but it's kind of the way I am. Again, I don't have denominational affiliation, I don't have denominational support. So the two times that I went over to Thailand before, I sold all of my goods and I financed my trip over, and I financed my support. And then when I got over in country, I secured a job as an English teacher so that I could provide for my living. Now, I'm planning on going back, and this time I have a whole lot more junk. It's amazing how much you can gather in 7 years. But I have a whole house full of items that I need to liquidate. But the biggest one, and this is what this video discusses, I have a 2016 Dodge Ram Eco Diesel 1500. The truck is in pristine condition. There's not a scratch on it. It's white. It has the V6 diesel engine in it. And interestingly, about a year and a half ago, the engine blew in it. The body of the truck currently has just under 70,000 miles. But 15,000 miles ago, the engine decided to blow due to a manufacturer's defect. And of course, the vehicle was still under warranty, so they replaced it free of cost. And it has about 15,000 miles. Excuse me. And it probably has another 20 to 25,000 miles of warranty left on the engine. But anyway, the vehicle gets great fuel mileage. I get around town, just driving back and forth to work, I get about 20 miles to the gallon. And then I took it on a trip when I first bought the vehicle. I had a friend who needed to have a trailer delivered to him. And so he agreed to pay me. And I drove from here to Wichita Falls, Texas. And I pulled a small trailer. It was a 5x8, weighed about 3,500 pounds, maybe 4,000. On the way down, I was doing 85, 90 miles an hour, and I averaged 18 and a half miles to the gallon. And then coming back, I averaged about 28, 29 miles to the gallon. Since then, I have put a Banks Derringer or Dillinger tuner on it, which has increased the horsepower and the foot-pounds of torque. I'm getting better gas or fuel mileage. I also put a monster pedal on it, and what that monster pedal did, there's a I want to call it a defect, because it's drive-by-wire, which means you push on the accelerator pedal, and there's a module on the accelerator pedal, and there's a wire that connects that module to the module on the fuel system. So it's an electrical signal. Well, there was a lag in that, almost caused me to have an accident twice. So I started doing some research, and I found out that the monster pedals take it out. So I bought a Banks monster pedal, and it sure did. It took it right out. I also put um, with that Dillinger, it has what's called an I-8 system. It monitors every function of the engine. You can do just a whole bunch of stuff with it if you really want to play with your vehicle. But I also put a Banks air induction system on it, and that increased the horsepower and the torque. Um, so great vehicle. It does everything that I want it to do. And interestingly, before I put the Banks aftermarket components on it, um, 0 to 60 was 11.4 seconds, no, 11.7. After I put that equipment on it, I tested it again. 0 to 60 went to 7.4 seconds. So a lot of neat stuff you can do with that. It has 6 power settings on it, so you can adjust it according to whatever you're towing. It has a just over a 9,000-pound towing package. I also put a 4-inch lift on it and oversized tires, and that the whole purpose of that is I like to drive off road, and so a great vehicle. Again, not a scratch on it. Body has 70,000 miles. Um, the um, the engine has just over 15,000 miles. Gets great fuel mileage. And what I'm doing is I'm raffling that off. And of course, if you've purchased the raffle ticket, then you already know what the cost is. But that cost will be $100 per ticket. So um, that money will finance my trip over there. And believe me, folks, it is expensive. Um, just if I were to take all, and I'm not going to, but if I were going to take all of my household goods, it would cost me $17,500. But I'm going to liquidate all of that. But just airplane tickets and visas, insurance, because they require you now to have health insurance before you enter country. But all of that's going to cost me just under $10,000. So then when I get there, obviously, I I have to purchase vehicles, and I can. This is the crazy thing. I don't know what the current price is, but land over in Thailand is extremely inexpensive. This is 10 years ago. I was looking at buying some land, and they had a half a square or a square kilometer, which is 6/10 square mile, was $50,000. Now that's undeveloped, unimproved. It's just land, and I don't need that much land. But the point is that I need to buy property, and I need to put a building on that property, because the plan is I'm going to go over and start a church school. Now, one of the things that I learned the first time that I went over as missionary Mike, and I didn't realize that the people in Thailand had had some bad experiences with aggressive missionaries. If you're aggressive with Thai people, they'll be polite, they'll be kind, but they will back off from you, and you're not going to reach them. Anyway, I went over the first time as missionary Mike. The second time, when I found out what the issue was, I went over as teacher Mike, and I taught the same lessons, and they received the reception was just so much better. So when I go over, I'm going over as a teacher, and again, I'm still a tent maker missionary. Have to support myself, raise my own funds, but I want to build a building. And of course, the wonderful thing that the Thai people will like is they're going to get free English lessons, but they will get the same lessons about Jesus and His love for them, and the plan of salvation, um, and creation, and all of the wonderful things that the Bible talks about. So uh, I would hope that you, if you don't want to buy a ticket, if you see this, I would hope that you would, because I really need help. I need all the help I can get. I know that, but I hope that you purchase a ticket, and I hope that you encourage others so that you can help support me to win the Thai people to the Lord Jesus. So Bless you. Hope you have a great time. And again, thank you for tuning in.